Hello everyone, it's me, Seafoam Gaming, not here for an unboxing on scripted memories or internal memories, but not even for a rant, just a general discussion video where I give my unscripted thoughts. I guess it's unscripted memories, but I'm not going to name it that because I have to work on internal memories CDI cutscenes anyway. But it is just my thoughts on the whole Pokemon movie 20 situation with the old voice actors. Because what made me do this video was I saw Serenato Chenny's Twitter today that she was being kind of, I don't want to say harassed, but bullied by people who really wanted the old Ash back in the 20th movie dub, like me, but I did not bully her. Instead, some people were just really mean and blamed her for the reason the old Ash doesn't have a job in, well, Pokemon anymore. And they, do this all the time. Ever since she took over, people have always gone after Sarah for being the new Ash and thought she's horrible and that she's an evil, dirty, ugly person. But really, she is, in my honest opinion, a very good Ash, just not as good as Veronica Taylor in some parts, but I do think she's very good in the newest seasons, and I think she's worthy of being a successor. And so, I wasn't really a fan of seeing people basically pick on her for something that she didn't even have control over, all because a new 20th movie is coming out and this alternate universe take on the Pokemon first season, and Veronica Taylor's not going to be returning for it. And it's kind of sad. I really do think it's sad. I asked her about it in the whole HornaCon interview, and she was very hopeful that she'd get at least a cameo on it, but she didn't get anything in the end, which is a bit depressing, even for me. But I understood why they did it, because, well, still a natural Kenny, whether we like or not, because time flies by really fast, she's been the voice of Ash for more than Veronica Taylor now. It's been 11 years since the dub changed, and I think last weekend was the 11th anniversary of the new dub in the United States. And they were doing the dub for only 8 years for 4Kids. So they've done it longer than 4Kids have done it. Which is kind of scary. There were people born when I was rescued from, my bad living conditions, and now they've grown up with this new Ash and probably didn't hear of the old one much and think it's weird when they listen to old Ash when they're used to new Ash. And that brings me to my thoughts on the whole casting change, even though I was going to cover in my retrospective, which, knowing my pacing for the PMD one, is going to take years at this point. But still, it just makes me think pretty hard about the fact that, well, there are people who like both Ashes, like me, and people who only like the new Ash, like some friends I know in my vacation cabin. They're, one of them's 10 years old, and I think he's only known the Ash from the new series, so he's more familiar with the Ash from Kalos, and he always would recite, "Yay, I'm here in the Kalos region," or whatever Ash said in the very first episode of season 17, I believe, the XY, the series. And he thinks the old voice of Ash was really weird. And that's kind of what I thought and what my birth mother thought when we heard Serenato Chenny as Ash for the first time back in 2006. I have a VHS where I recorded the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon episode and the season premiere of season 9 with the voice casting change. And we both thought the voices were really weird. They took a while to get used to, and the direction was really bad in the first 3 episodes. Even though I love the voice actors now, their performances were not good back then. Serenato Chenny did get better as Ash as time went on, but May as Michelle Knotts, I think, or Michelle Knotts as May is more technically correct. May as Michelle Knotts was just never that good listened to compared to Veronica Taylor's May. Even though she was great when talking normally, in the movie and in the TV show when she wasn't in contest, as soon as she said, "take the stage," it kind of made my eyes roll and cringe a bit because it wasn't that good of a line delivery. And such nitpicks like that, what Pokemon fans have been making for almost a decade now, because of the ones who still prefer the old 4Kids dub. And now it seems, something I've noticed in the XY series onwards, there's this new subset of fans who hate the dub that like the Japanese version better than the US one. And while there always were people who were super picky about the Japanese version of Pokemon because 4Kids was the one dubbing Pokemon, they have a bad rep for editing stuff with paintbrushes like the Jelly Donuts joke and whatnot. People have been getting mad at them just recently because they've been replacing the music in the dubbed versions of Pokemon for no reason other than it seems like a Sony Music Corp licensing issue. That's all I was able to deduce by looking at who's operating the Pokemon anime music soundtracks and their releases. Seems like Sony Music Corp's a bit stingy on what they let get licensed, and outside movies I don't think Pokemon USA wants to do the effort of licensing good music, so they hired some guy named Ed Goldfarb or something like that to make new music. And I gotta be honest, even though I love the Japanese music of seasons 1 through 10 the most, the Japanese music in the Pokemon anime have been getting really bad lately. I haven't been able to listen to an intro theme I've liked at all since High Touch in 2009, I think. And so I've just been listening to the English dub because even though it kept some of the Japanese music, it would recycle ones from older seasons that were more fitting. One of the biggest problems I had with the old Pokemon anime dub that 4Kids made was that even though they recycled some awesome Japanese songs like OK Go for instrumental purposes, and it was really awesome in some episodes, when you watch lots of episodes in a row and hear the same instrumental songs over and over and over again, playing at the exact same situations over and over and over again, it gets really boring. I can't even begin to express how many times I've been bored while watching Advanced Challenge because they repeat a generic forest scenery theme, and then all of a sudden they repeat a generic battle theme, and then all of a sudden they repeat a generic contest theme. You can tell what music they're gonna play, and when the intensity raises or lowers, you can tell who's gonna win or lose. It's boring, predictable, and even though I love the voice cast, I do not like the music direction in seasons 6 through 8. I just couldn't get into it at that point. So in season 9 kind of bucked the trend by bringing back more Japanese music and making their own songs that weren't generic to the same sense as 4Kids is, I actually liked it a bit more. It wasn't until Black and White I felt the music was more generic in a bad way, because now it was just boring and didn't have any sort of flavor to it at all. And in XY that got kind of worse because I think all the tracks except for those related to video game songs, like route themes and whatnot. Like whenever Clement makes a new invention, they always play the route theme. I thought that was kind of fitting. But every other time, they just played generic songs, and it was, well, boring, but not predictable, which is better than 4Kids' Advanced Generation dub, in my opinion. But because of that, people really hated the new dub for the past few years. And I can see why, but I don't necessarily think it's too big of a deal breaker unless it comes to the movies, because the movies need the Japanese soundtracks, because that's what the whole point of the movies were. The first and second movies kind of were butchered because they removed the Japanese soundtracks and replaced them with generic American garbage. Except for the Mewtwo movie, because that actually had some good songs, but The Power of One... I'll never forgive 4Kids for removing an awesome instrumental that takes place when Ash is basically trying to save the legendary birds by going to the different islands, and Misty's trying to help out with that flute lady who summoned Lugia. I forgot the name, it's been a long time since I saw the movie. But they played this awesome Japanese song that came back for Misty's goodbye, and according to someone on Twitter, they somehow brought back for Crembot's demise in XYZ, which is really baffling because I don't think they played that song in over a decade, and that's really weird to do. I have to listen to that and see if that's true, but if it is, I'm gonna drop my jaws at how awesome it is. But yeah, so to put it bluntly, with all this rambling, people don't like the dub, not just for voice actors, but more or less due to the production crew not giving a crap on some things. But I don't think it's appropriate to bully and harass the production crew or even the new voice actors. While it is technically the fault of the production crew for changing the Japanese music and stuff, I don't necessarily think it's something they would have done if they didn't have to. Like, if they were able to license it easily through Sony Music, they probably would have a Japanese soundtrack in all the English episodes. But because of it being a painted license, and also the fact that it would cost too much money for them to bother paying, even though they have lots of money to lose, they just won't do it, except for Team Rocket's theme and the stuff they need to have. But overall, I still like the dub to an extent. I hate Black and White's dub. I do love X, Y, and Z's dub, even though I think Stan Tall's an awful opening theme. And I haven't seen the Sun Moon dub or Japanese theme yet, because I'm still finishing X, Y, and Z. But from what I've heard, they've actually did a boo-boo with that season, and I'm gonna be, well, kind of in the middle when I listen to it, because if it's true, I'm gonna have to join in on the music replacement is stupid crowd, because I apparently heard that for Sun and Moon's dub, they still use the Kalos route themes, which is a dumb mistake. Like, I know I again said music licensing is a pain, but they could at least use straight from the video game some Sun and Moon track if they want to make it, a Sun and Moon, themed episode. Or heck, they could have that new guy that they have composed background music make some Tropical Paradise theme if he hasn't done it already. I have to see it for myself before I rely on hearsay from the internet. But point is, as I said before, people don't like the new dub for reasons more than Sarah's voice and the other voices. I'm going to talk about in more detail in my retrospective, with a lot more scripted and more flow down and whatnot. But basically, today's PSA was really just about me saying I don't think that's nice for people to bash on Sarah Nattercheny and the new voice actors for not bringing Veronica Taylor back. It's not what she wanted. I mean, she wanted to be in the movie, but it's not, she does not want the new voice actors to be haggled and harassed. She just, wants a job in the Pokemon space again. I mean, even though I think she'd love to be Ash more importantly than anything else, she should at least be a Pokemon, in my opinion. There's tons of Pokemon in the new region's name again? Oh, that's Aloha. Yeah, that's how much I don't play the new games anymore. But there's lots of Aloha in Pokemon they can have voices for that they haven't dubbed from Japanese yet. Why not have Veronica Taylor provide one of them? It could be a Pilukumuku for all we care, and she'd still be back and getting used to new Pokemon and helping the new Ash out and whatnot. And I know there's other talented new Pokemon USA dub voice actors as well, like Bill Rogers and Alison Rosenfield. They are great, and the voice of Clement's also great as well. So the voice actors, in my opinion, are still good. And even though they're not as good as the old ones in some cases, I think they're better than the old ones in some other cases. I may have the unpopular opinion here, but I actually think Sarah Nattercheny's Ash was better in X, Y, and Z than if Veronica Taylor was around for X, Y, and Z, because that Ash sounded a lot older, more appropriate for the situations in the season, and I think it was a perfect fit for Ash. On the other hand, I would pretty much die for Veronica Taylor to basically replace Sarah Nattercheny as Ash in Black and White, because Black and White, despite being a bad season even in Japanese because of the earthquake, it really needed a more kiddie protagonist in terms of voice acting, so I didn't think Sarah's deeper voice worked well there. But hey, it's fine to have different opinions. It's fine to be like my birth mom, who still doesn't like new voices or Pokemon, but loves the old seasons. It's just, I guess, what I'm trying to say through all this rambly nonsense is that I want people to be kind to one another, be nice, etc., etc., and don't bash the new voice actors. It may be disappointing that we didn't get Veronica back from movie 20, but I do think it's at least important to support the movie nonetheless, go to the theaters when it debuts, and just enjoy, this retelling alternate universe. Just enjoy Pokemon, because Pokemon is something we can all enjoy. New, old voice actors we can just enjoy in general. And I think since they got Rachel Lillis back as Shinx in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Veronica Taylor being a Pokemon or side character in the new seasons is not out of the question. I think that's what people should target for next. Even if she can't be Ash for understandable reasons, they should at least still give her a job, because she clearly wants to be involved in the Pokemon series, and if some of the old voice actors are now in the Pokemon series as Pokemon, why can't she? So yeah, that's a bit of a rambly, not unscripted memories of me talking about the Pokemon dub and what I thought of it, which was basically I thought it was okay. Didn't like some of the music replacements, but I think it's better than 4Kids in some aspects. I do think it could be a lot better though, and if the music from the movies changed because it's from the first season, I will be mad if they don't replace it with good stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of mixed on it, but you'll hear my full thoughts on the whole Pokemon anime, all the seasons, both voice dubs, when I make the retrospective. Part 1, which is about basically how I got into the Pokemon anime and my memories of some of the first season episodes, that should be up this year. The second part that talks about the dub, I'm gonna bet it's not gonna be up until early next year, because I don't want to set a date for November and then work overly hard to tire myself out. I think part 1 is going to be out this year, but part 2 will take a while. And I'm going to do my best to make sure each part of the Pokemon anime retrospective will have a treat for people who like the old and new voice actors. I mean, I got a really special treat for part 1 of the Pokemon anime, so you better see it soon. But, yeah, that's it for this, well, talk video, I guess. Probably rambly, not gonna get many views, but it's just my thoughts. I'll share it with people who are interested. And I hope you maybe come back later for my anime retrospective. Or just subscribe to me so you can see my retrospectives on other stuff. Bye.